is Stephanie Taylor, and I'm going to inform you on the importance of wearing seatbelts in a moving vehicle. I've been married to a police officer for over 10 years. My husband has encountered numerous tragedies in his line of work. He has investigated dozens of fatal crashes. Time and time again, I have watched him come home from work in sorrow from the things that he has seen. If there is a common factor in most of the stories that he tells, it would be that the victims were not wearing their seatbelts. In the fall of 2010, a crash occurred in Sanpete County near Electric Lake on Skyline Drive. This picture that you see here is the actual pickup truck that was in the accident. The pickup carried 5 occupants. The driver neglected to slow to a reasonable speed around a sharp curve, resulting in this pickup leaving the roadway and overturned multiple times down the embankment shown in the picture. The pickup came to a rest near the water's line. A lot happened during those few seconds of terror. Only one of the 5 occupants was restrained. Windows became exits quickly. The driver was tossed out his window during the second or the third turn. The adult female who was laying in the bed of the pickup was immediately thrown out as the pickup began to overturn. The 3-year-old girl, who was actually sitting in a child restraint device in the back, was not buckled and was tossed around the cab. Now for the most tragic part of this story. The 5-year-old boy, who also sat in his child safety device in the back, but was not buckled in, was tossed around in the pickup until the final roll. During the final roll, he was thrown out of the back window. The pickup then rolled over his tiny body and landed on top of his chest, and he lay beneath 1 foot of water until he died. Remember I told you there were 5 occupants? Well, the front passenger, adult male, was a properly restrained person. He rode the crash through till the end. After the vehicle had stopped, he unbuckled himself and exited the vehicle unharmed. He then walked around the mountain, scoping out the scene to find his critically injured and deceased friends, who were all over the hillside. Now, this is not an anomaly from the experiences my husband has encountered. It's more like the common denominator. Over and over, he has seen only unrestrained occupants, critically injured or dead, and their friends or family who were in the vehicle with them unharmed because they were buckled in. I hope the information that I provide you today will help you to make the right decision about seatbelt use. So I ask you this question: should I or should I not wear my seatbelt? I am going to explain my reasoning why I believe seatbelts save lives and why I believe they are important and should be worn at all times while in a moving vehicle. According to the CDC, motor vehicle crashes are the leading cause of death among those aged 5 to 34 in the United States. Young adults aged 18 to 24 have the highest crash-related injury rates of all adults. If you were to ask 90% of all motorists, they would tell you that wearing their seatbelts is a good idea, but when it comes down to it, less than 14% actually use them. So what are the benefits of wearing your seatbelt while in a moving vehicle? Well, seatbelts can save your life. In the unlikely event of an accident, you will be 50% less likely to die in an accident if you were to wear your seatbelt. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, more than 15,000 lives are saved each year in the United States because drivers and their passengers were wearing their seatbelts when they were in accidents. According to Angela Osterhuber, director of the Pennsylvania Traffic Injury Prevention Project, seatbelts prevent occupants of the vehicle from serious injury in 5 ways. The first way she talks about is that seatbelts keep the occupants of the vehicle inside. It is a myth that people are better off being thrown clear from the crash. People thrown from a vehicle are 4 times more likely to be killed than those who remain inside. A common cause of death and injury to children in motor vehicles is being crushed by adults who are not wearing safety belts. 1 out of 4 serious injuries to passengers is caused by occupants being thrown into each other. The second way is that seatbelts restrain the strongest parts of the body. Restraints are designed to contact your body at its strongest parts. For an older child and adult, these parts are the hips and the shoulders, which are where their seatbelt should be strapped. The third way is that seatbelts spread out any force from the collision. Lap and shoulder belts spread the force of the crash over a wide area of the body. By putting less stress on any one area, they can help you avoid serious injury. The fourth way is that seatbelts help the body to slow down. What is it that causes injury? A quick change in speed. Seatbelts help extend the time it takes for you to slow down in a crash. And the last way is that seatbelts protect your brain and spinal cord. A seatbelt is designed to protect these two critical areas. Head injuries may be hard to see immediately, but they can be deadly. Likewise, spinal cord injuries can have serious consequences. A person must wear a seatbelt in order for it to protect them, but the most important part of wearing a seatbelt is wearing it correctly. Adjusting your seatbelt properly is very important to your safety while in a moving vehicle. The strap that goes across your lap should fit snugly over your hips and upper thigh area. If the belt rides up on your stomach, it could cause serious injuries in a crash. The shoulder belt should rest securely across your chest and shoulders between your breasts. Don't ever let the strap fall across your neck or face, and never place the strap under your arms or behind your back. Any one of these positions can cause serious injuries. 3 out of 4 families with child safety seats fail to use them correctly. Adults need to follow manufacturer's instructions and secure seats properly before every trip. Children need to be in a secure restraint device to protect them from accidents. Children are not small adults, and their body structure is different from adults. They need specialized protection while in a moving vehicle. The following guidelines for selecting the right child restraint device are from the American Academy of Pediatrics. Children under the age of 1 and those who weigh less than 20 pounds should sit rear-facing. The seat should be placed in the back seat of the car. Children older than 1 who weigh more than 20 pounds should ride in forward-facing child safety seats. The seat should be placed in the rear of the vehicle until the child reaches the upper weight or height limit of the particular seat. Booster seats. Children age 4 and older who weigh more than 40 pounds should ride in a booster seat. A child can safely progress to a seatbelt when the belt fits properly across the upper thighs and chest. This is usually at age 8 or when they are at least 4 foot 9 inches tall. When children outgrow their booster seats, they can use seat belts, but they still should be in the back of the vehicle. Really, all children should be riding in the back seat of the car until they are at least 13 years old. An estimated 80% of American children are immunized against contagious diseases, but less than 10% are properly restrained when riding in a motor vehicle. Parents and caregivers can be good examples to children when riding in a moving vehicle by putting on their seat belts and using them correctly. It is suggested that safety belts should be fastened before traveling any distance or speed. It is estimated that 75% of crash deaths and injuries occur within 25 miles of home. Before your vehicle starts, it is wise to buckle up. In conclusion, my purpose has been to inform you of the importance of proper seatbelt usage. Seatbelts should always be used in every situation. Each person riding in a vehicle should properly fasten and wear a seatbelt correctly. If you don't wear the seatbelt correctly, it doesn't provide the maximum protection that it could if you were in an accident. Never have more passengers in a vehicle than there are seatbelts. Children, as well as adults, can get seriously injured in an accident if not properly restrained in a seatbelt. If you remember my story that I told you in the beginning of my speech, the adult passenger of the pickup truck was the only one wearing his seatbelt. He was the only one that walked away from the accident unharmed. 3 other people were critically injured, and 1 person lost their life because of a mistake that was made that day. The mistake was to not wear their seatbelt. Seatbelts save lives. Wear them.